Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, 23 years ago today, Americans' lives were changed forever. See how Quinnipiac students have been told about the event.
Find out when a local pizza place is ready to start serving the Quinnipiac community, and learn about how Connecticut is making the earth a little greener with a new renewable fuel source.
And the 417-bed residential hall, The Grove, had its grand opening this past Monday.
All that and more coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Thank you for joining us and welcome to tonight's episode of the Q30 Newscast. I'm Connor Core.
And I'm Nick Boyd. Today was the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and the university honored the day with bell ringings early this morning.
Members of the Quinnipiac community spoke with Q30's Ashley Potvin to explain this historic day.
September 11th, 2001, a day that changed the nation forever. Today marks 23 years since the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. Many people have their own stories about where they were and how they felt when the event took place, including Jason Burke, ex-military pilot and current executive director of Veteran and Military Affairs.
September 11th, I was stationed at Willow Grove Naval Air Station, which is just outside Philadelphia. When the planes started hit the towers in New York, the base went into lockdown really quick, and we started having a plan.
He also spoke about how he felt that day.
Some confusion, some anger, definitely sadness, knowing that there are a lot of people in those buildings. I knew a couple of people in the Pentagon that were killed as well.
Even those who were born after the event took place can do their part in honoring those who lost their lives.
My 24-year-old was obviously, an infant at the time, doesn't remember it, but I think we should take the time to pause, and yet we should still be able to go about our days, and remember those that were killed and injured, and I think we should reflect and remember what occurred that day.
Students also spoke on what can be done today to honor the victims of 9/11.
I would say social media is such a big part of just our world, and I'd say reposting, not staying silent, and just keep getting the word out.
Show remembrance to the victims there, just kind of reposting stuff and showing what you are doing to respect those, like the 110 steps, going to is like a Stairmaster at a gym or anything. I think we just need to unite as a country right now, especially with all of our political differences.
In honor of those who died, a bell was chimed this morning on the Mount Carmel campus at 8:46 a.m., the time the first plane hit the World Trade Center. For Q30 News, I'm Ashley Potvin.
Thank you, Ashley. The next Quinnipiac presidential search is in full swing. There were 3 separate listening sessions on Monday for the hiring agency and the Board of Trustees to hear from faculty, staff, and students. If you missed those events, don't worry. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now, and you can fill out a survey with information on what you would like to see in the next university president.
Registration for Bobcat Weekend events is now open. The festivities will run from October 25th to October 27th, and they're open to alumni, current students, parents, faculty, and staff. Students or faculty are also able to register one guest. Once registered, attendees will be given a QR code that will allow them to check in at all the events they've signed up for. To register, scan that QR code on your screen. After months of renovations, there is a new pizza place just down the street. Q30's Julia Barcello has more on the story.
Falcon Pizza, one of Quinnipiac University students' favorite pizza places, shut down March 1st, 2024, and it was closed due to a failure to submit a sales and use tax permit. Sales and use tax permits allow the Connecticut government to collect sales tax from customers on goods and services sold. While under ownership of the Worldwide Quality Group Limited Liability Company, individual owners Erdral and his brother Sider Sahin, numerous documents were not filed to the state of Connecticut, including 2 annual reports from 2022 and 2023, along with the sales and use tax permit in 2023. After its closing, new owners Selim Sahin and Yavuz Sahin opened Whitney Pizza under the Whitney Pizza Limited Liability Company. The two also own Andy's Pizza, located in West Haven. Selim Sahin explained how him and his brother Yavuz came across the new location.
Was previously run by people we know, and they couldn't do it, so they closed it, and we were passing by here. We had no idea this place was closed. We weren't looking for something like this, so kind of got us excited.
Due to corporation law, Salim Sahin further detailed Whitney Pizza's individuality from Falcon's Pizza, as they're under a new LLC.
To open a new restaurant on a place like that, if you do transfer of LLC, this is gonna be a long process, and you have to take whatever they owe. So what we decided, we have nothing to do with them. This is total new owners under new contract with the landlord. Everything was set up that way.
Although the corporation is different, the pizza is still the same as Falcon's, according to Salim.
No, same pizza, same ingredients, almost same. Like I say, pizza, to me, I've been in this for 20 years. Everybody does the pizza with dough, water, salt, or yeast. This is the same ingredient. If you do your job with love, you're gonna, be successful, And like I say, we did this for 20 years, and we like to work.
Salim is excited for this opening of their second location. He also ensures safety and happiness for his customers.
Everything's going to be, running smooth and the way it should be, safely, for everybody, for the environment, for the students. Up front is most important, keeping the customers happy, keeping the students safe.
Whitney Pizza has plans to open tomorrow, Thursday the 12th. Reporting from Whitney Pizza for Q30 News, I'm Julie Barcello.
Last night, the United States presidential debate in Quinnipiac students had the opportunity to watch it in one place. The Office of Community Engagement held a watch party in the piazza where students were able to watch a historical debate. Students filled the piazza to hear two candidates debate topics from immigration to reproductive rights.
In lighter news, yesterday, the College of Arts and Sciences hosted a meet and greet with the school's dean at the Carl Hansen Student Center. Students were able to meet with the leaders from the College of Arts and Sciences department. The event featured conversations with members of the dean's office and, as you'd expect with any campus gathering, free pizza. Attendees included CAS Dean Adam Roth, Assistant Dean Vanessa Gonzalez-Figueroa, and Director of Career Development, Rick Del Vecchio.
Now, Nick, we've been feeling some fall weather recently, but I don't think I'm ready to say bye to summer heat just quite yet.
I gotta disagree with you, Connor. I'm ready for the fall temperatures. 60 is where I'm the happiest. But our very own Brandon Murdoch's got a preview of the weekly weather report.
Thank you, Nick and Connor. Now, earlier today, it got to a high of 77 degrees. It was nice and sunny. Right about now, though, it is about 53 degrees. Tomorrow, looking at tomorrow, it'll be sunny once again to a high of 78 degrees. And later on in the day, it will get down to a low of 57. Now, Friday, it will be the hottest day of the week, getting up to 82 degrees. But there will be a little bit of cloud cover throughout the day. But later on at night, it will get down to 59. Now, stick around to here for the 7-day weather forecast and weather throughout the state. Q30 Newscast will be right back after the short break.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Thank you for sticking with us. The Connecticut Senator Blumenthal is introducing renewable diesel fuel made from oils from fast food restaurants and planned to be used for transit. Q30's Evangeline Crossley spoke with the leading energy provider regarding this new project.
A new diesel fuel made using nothing but waste products is making a big impact on sustainability around the nation, and now it's made its way to Connecticut. It's made using fats, oils, and other waste products from fast food restaurants. Experts at the EPA say the fuel delivers the same performance as petroleum diesel, but with up to 78% lower emissions. That's game-changing in a country where 40% of emissions come from the transportation sector.
Now, while the East Haven terminal behind me here is the only place in Connecticut to provide this fuel, it's the 5th place in the whole Northeast since Global Partners introduced this fuel last year.
The goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 80% before 2050. This fuel can be used in any diesel engine without any modifications, and is already being used all over the West Coast. It's also better for the engines that it powers. Reed Lamberty, a representative for Global Partners, said in a statement to Q30, quote, "Renewable diesel offers similar, if not superior performance compared to conventional diesel, including better fuel efficiency and cold weather performance. It helps engines last longer and helps lead to less buildup in engines, which means fewer repairs." The company even claims that the renewable diesel becomes cheaper than petroleum diesel over time.
So any engine that uses diesel can come to one of these terminals for a little bit of a greener fill-up. Reporting for Q30 News from the East Haven terminal, I'm Evangeline Crossley.
The Quinnipiac School of Law is hosting the Connecticut Law Fair on Thursday, where students will be able to meet representatives from 58 law schools around the country. The event will begin with a panel discussion at 10 a.m., and then the law fair itself will run from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the School of Law on Quinnipiac's North Haven campus. The fair is designed to give prospective law students a chance to learn more about admissions, law programs, financial aid, and what to look for in a law school. The event is free and appointments are not required.
Now, the university held the grand opening for its newest residential hall, The Grove, on the Mount Carmel campus this past Monday. Q30's Carter Kane has the story.
3, 2, 1.
And with the cut of the ribbon, Quinnipiac's newest addition to the residence halls, The Grove, has officially opened to all members of campus. Students from all across campus gathered on Monday to view the ceremony and hear a little bit about how the building came to be. Chief Experience Officer Tom Ellett, who has played a huge role in the development of The Grove, opened the ceremony with a speech. Other speakers such as President Judy Olian and Dan Laterra, an alumni of QU who still works with the school, were all at the ceremony speaking about how proud they were to continue to develop Quinnipiac and shape it for the future.
And the experiences and support and values that I gained from Quinnipiac continue to drive me today and enable me to lead the teams as we prepare for the next wave of technology advancements.
Q30 had the chance to sit down with a couple faculty members who were integral to the Grove's development, and we asked them how they felt about the project as a whole.
Yeah, it's a really exciting day, perhaps the most exciting day of my time here at QU. It's nice to see so many shining faces, students, faculty, the administration. A lot of work went into this building, and so it's kind of the day to celebrate all of that work and to bring it all together. It's really exciting.
To see this structure completed with the innovation and the energy and just the passion of our students, faculty, staff, and alumni who are gathered here, it's a good day to be a Bobcat. We talk a lot about building towards the future and building the university of the future, and to be able to see that happening right in front of us, it's exciting.
The Grove is just the first part of the upcoming South Quad, which will be home to not just the residence hall, but the new School of Business and another general academic building. With innovations becoming closer and closer to reality for Quinnipiac, it's looking bright for the future of the Bobcats. Carter Kane, Q30 News.
Thanks, Carter. All eyes were on the Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump last night, bringing in 57.5 million viewers from across the world.
For more on the debate and everything else going on in U.S. politics, Samantha Shaw is here in studio.
Thanks, Nick and Connor. The political climate has been heating up as we near the November election. Starting in Philadelphia, last night, ABC News hosted the first presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. The candidates were both vocal about their difference of opinions on how to tackle issues such as immigration policies, global concerns, reproductive rights, the economy, as well as many other controversial topics. Following the debate, the CNN Flash poll shared that 63% of voters feel that Harris outperformed Trump. Overall, the debate consisted of clashing views and emphasized the divide between the two parties. Moving on to the New York City courthouse, former President Donald Trump's sentencing in his hush money trial has been postponed until November 26th. The sentencing will happen just 3 weeks after the presidential election is set to take place. New York Judge Juan Merchant wrote that, quote, "This is not a decision this court makes lightly, but it is the decision which, in this court's view, best advances the interests of justice," end quote. NBC News reported that the delay follows a request from Trump's team to reschedule the sentencing with the aim to appeal to a pending ruling regarding presidential immunity. Last but not least, moving down south, Florida Democratic Representative Jared Moskowitz and Republican Representative Anna Paulina Luna are teaming up to address the escalating college debt crisis. Fox News reported that the two, quote, "introduced a bill to cap federal student loan interest at 3% this past week," end quote. Luna is looking to lobby Speaker Mike Johnson for a House-wide vote and to expedite the bill using the suspension of the rules procedure. Both Moskowitz and Luna agree that this procedure should easily pass the vote and agree that claiming credit for their party does not matter, even in a presidential election year. That's all the updates I have for this week. Let's send it back to the desk.
We've got to take our second quick break of the evening.
Now, Nick, do not worry. Brandon will be back in studio to give us a full weather report, and we'll also see more news from around the world.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Thank you for sticking with us on the Q30 Newscast.
Our weather correspondent, Brandon Murdoch, has the full forecast for the rest of this week. Brandon?
Thank you, Nick and Connor. Now, continuing with the 7-day forecast, this weekend it's going to be a warm one. Saturday will get up to a high of 83, and throughout the day it will cool down to 59. Sunday following the trend of getting up to 80, but we'll get to a cool of 56 throughout the day. Monday, heading into next week, Monday and Tuesday will be a little bit cloudy, with Monday getting up to 78 and Tuesday getting up to 79, with Monday getting to as low as 56 and Tuesday getting to a low as 62. Now, heading into the forecast for the rest of the state, tomorrow, the northwest area, as you can see, will get up to as high as 80 degrees. That's the warmest it's going to be. It was as low as it's going to be at 55 in that area. Now, as we head down to the southern part of the state, Stanford and New Haven are about 79 and 78 tomorrow, with Stanford getting a little bit of cloud throughout the day, and the low for each one is 60 and 61. Now, as we head over to New London, as you can see, it will be sunny throughout the entire day, and it will be as low as 58 while getting up to 74 throughout the day. Now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brandon. Makes me feel a lot better heading into the rest of this week. Now, there's more weather around the country that is impacting many, and a catastrophe that changed many lives in Connecticut here as well.
Q30's Patrick Walsh is here with this week's top stories from around the country.
Thanks, guys. We've got a lot going on around the nation. A Connecticut town is reeling as 4 people are dead after a plane crash in Vermont. Police say Middletown residents Paul Pelletier, Frank Rodriguez, Susan Van Ness, and her daughter Delilah were on a round trip from Wyndham Airport in Willimantic to Ferrisburg, Vermont, when they disappeared from radar on the trip back to Connecticut. Pelletier was an aerospace and manufacturing teacher at Middletown Public Schools, where Delilah was one of his students. This unimaginable loss has left a void in our hearts and our community, District Superintendent Alberto Vasquez Matos said in a statement given to ABC News. Paul, Delilah, and Susan were special individuals whose absence is already being felt throughout our district and city. Middletown Public Schools will offer grief counseling to members of the community. Tropical Storm Francine turned into a hurricane on Tuesday as it bears down on the Louisiana coast. Forecasters expect the storm to strengthen as it makes landfall in Louisiana late Wednesday night. A A hurricane watch has been put into place for coastal Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of East Texas. Projections show that winds can reach up to 90 miles per hour and weaken as the storm moves inland, and storm surge levels will be from 4 to 10 feet. Finally, SpaceX's Polaris Dawn mission lifted off Tuesday from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. The mission set the record for the highest orbit around Earth, surpassing NASA's 1966 Gemini 11 mission. But the most daring part of the trip is yet to come, as the 4 passengers will attempt the first commercial spacewalk. Financier Jarek Isaacman and SpaceX engineer Sarah Gillis will exit the spacecraft, and all 4 will be exposed to the vacuum of space. They will also be testing SpaceX's EVA suits, designed to replace NASA's aging spacesuits. That's all the stories I have from around the nation. Back to Nick and Connor at the desk.
Thanks, Patrick. We're going to take a step from news around the country to news from around the world.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Nick. Andrew Reynolds has been following the news and is here to give a full breakdown of what is going on. Andrew?
Thanks, Nick and Connor. Starting with news out of Syria early on Tuesday, where at least 19 people were killed and 60 more wounded after an Israeli attack on a Gaza humanitarian camp. The strike targeted a coastal community home to many Palestinians displaced by the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The Israeli military claims the strike was aimed at significant Hamas terrorists operating within a command and control center, though Hamas denies this. The attack left deep craters and widespread devastation. Gaza's health ministry reports over 40,000 Palestinians have been killed since the war began last year. Moving eastward, Super Typhoon Yagi has caused significant devastation in northern Vietnam, claiming over 60 lives since making landfall on Saturday. The Phong Chau Bridge collapsed under the storm's force, plunging several vehicles into the Red River. Rescue operations are ongoing for 13 missing individuals. The typhoon, with winds reaching up to 120 miles per hour, has left millions without power and caused severe flooding and landslides. Authorities have evacuated nearly 50,000 people from coastal towns, and they have also closed schools. This is Asia's most powerful storm this year, highlighting the increasing intensity of such events due to climate change. Lastly, Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, has announced the completion of her chemotherapy treatment 6 months after revealing her cancer diagnosis. In a video message, Kate expressed her relief at finishing her treatment and emphasized her focus on staying cancer-free and returning to work. She described her cancer journey as, quote, complex, scary, and unpredictable, unquote, and highlighted the importance of appreciating the simple things in life. The palace shared family photos of Kate, Prince William, and their 3 children taken in Norfolk, England. Kate plans to gradually resume to public duties after being out of the spotlight for most of the past year. Despite completing chemotherapy, she acknowledged that her path to full recovery is ongoing. This update comes at a significant moment for the royal family and their supporters. That's all for news I have this week for international news. Nick, Connor, back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. With that, we're going to enter our third break of the night.
We've got sports and a look at a new local barbecue spot when we come back on the Q30 Newscast.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My. Oh.
Connor, it's time for this week's sports report.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting week for Quinnipiac sports, and Q30's Anthony Rossi has more on what happened this week.
Thanks, guys. One of the big stories from this past week was when the Quinnipiac rugby team traveled to Cambridge and tied a really difficult Harvard Crimson team. The Bobcats were able to snap the defending national champions' 10-match win streak. 3 different Bobcats found the try zone, including Kat Story, Lila Cox, and Lucy Lambourne. Story's try gave Quinnipiac the lead with just about 11:30 to go before the Crimson knotted up the game at 20 in the dying stages of the match. The Bobcats have drew both of their matches so far this season and will take on the Navy Midshipwomen on the 21st of September. Moving on, the Quinnipiac field hockey team had a doubleheader this past weekend while also celebrating the 30th year of the program. The celebration took place on Sunday as the team came out victorious in their first win of the season against the Stonehill Skyhawks. The game went to double overtime where Lucia Pompeo netted the golden goal to win the game for Quinnipiac. The Bobcats will be back in action on Friday as they travel to Pennsylvania to take on the Lafayette Leopards. Lastly, the Quinnipiac volleyball team continues their tournament play this coming weekend as they travel back to Virginia. The Bobcats will be in action against Navy, Old Dominion, and the hosts, George Mason, all participating in the George Mason Invitational. The Bobcats will play George Mason for the second straight tournament, taking them on last weekend during the William & Mary Invitational. The team ended up dropping all 3 games last weekend while losing to the Patriots in 4 sets by a score of 3-1. They look to rebound this weekend, hoping to land on the right foot before playing in their last out-of-conference tournament next weekend in Dartmouth. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
What a week for Quinnipiac sports. Women's soccer has been great again, as always.
Yeah, got the 3-0 win over LIU today, starting conference play for the rest of the season.
But moving into Hammond, Connor, you a big barbecue fan?
You know, Nick, I was just thinking about food with all the pizza we've had so far, and I was grilling burgers just the other night, but I do love myself a good barbecue.
Well, you're in luck. Q30 Sydney Weimer has more on a new barbecue joint right down Whitney Avenue.
Hampton is known for its variety of quick-service restaurants catering to the bustling community. So if you are in seek of a new destination to try, look no further, because a newly opened barbecue joint not only specializes in takeout and delivery options, but does so while serving flavorful meals that cater to the community's desires. The Rib House To Go, which opened last July, is located just down the street on Whitney Avenue. The new takeout destination comes as an expansion from the original Rib House restaurant, located 20 minutes away in East Haven.
Well, for a while we were looking we wanted to expand, and we always wanted to go to Hamden. And the opportunity here presented itself several months back when it became vacant.
Here, people are very nice here, very friendly, and business is good here.
Featured items on the menu include barbecued favorites such as ribs, pulled pork, and smoked chicken.
Believe it or not, but we've won a couple of awards on our burgers, and we won the Buffalo Wing Challenge several years back with all the local restaurants in the East Haven, New Haven market. Sure. So really, I mean, in 1983 is when we opened, and we started out with our focus on just barbecue. We still are just pretty much primarily barbecue, but as you'll see by our menu, we have everything from burgers to some seafood and so on.
Quinnipiac students themselves can particularly enjoy the to-go and mobile ordering features the Rib House in Hampton has to offer.
What we're trying to do is be as easy to do business with as possible. What we've noticed is a lot of the students like to order off their phones, and then some cases pick it up, and in some cases have it delivered. We do both.
So if you're in need of some great food on a busy schedule, be sure to check out the community's newest barbecue destination. Reporting from the Rib House's Whitney Avenue location, Sydney Weimer, Q30 News.
Now, Nick, after seeing all that tasty food on the screen, I know where I'm going to be probably the next week or two, probably sooner rather than later, and B, I know exactly who I'm going to call for Super Bowl Sunday to especially watch Kendrick Lamar do the halftime show.
I was just going to say, this is the perfect place to get your stuff for your NFL Sundays, maybe even college football Saturdays.
Yeah. Now, Nick, I know we were kind of talking this as we were watching the package, but can you take a little bit of heat when it comes to that barbecue?
I love a little bit of kick with my barbecue. Sweet and spicy pulled pork, one of my favorite things of all time. Love a good rack of ribs too.
Yeah, we might have to go break down some doors right after this show. I'm mouthing.
I'm here for it.
I'm mouthing.
Give me a plate of wings and I'll go to town, man.
Awesome. Yeah, but that's going to wrap it up for tonight's show. Make sure to follow Q30 News on social media to stay up to date on what's happening around campus.
For all the producers and everyone working behind the scenes, he's Connor Core. I'm Nick Boyd. Take care, Bobcats.